So we're back with part of the wonderful crew from Inside Out. We're very happy to welcome here. Hello, Amy Poehler. Welcome. You're the American voice of Joy. And Joy, Charlotte Lebon, you're the French voice of Joy. Thank you for coming along. Hello, Pete Docter. We're thrilled to have you here once again in Cannes. Pete Docter, after the wonderful voice, Inside Out, wonderful Up, and Jonas, Riviera, your producer. Amy Poehler, a question. It's the first time you've been to Cannes? Have you been before?
I was here as part of the television festival a few years ago, but this is like that on steroids. Ah. Yeah, so it is not my first time in Cannes, but my first time with the film.
In the film festival?
Yes, the film festival, yes. And it's very exciting. It feels just like home.
Ah oui? Ah oui? À ce point-là?
No, it is the exact opposite of home.
J'espère. Ça fait quel effet?
What's it like, Charlotte Lebon, to meet your joy, your American joy?
Oui, c'est très agréable, d'autant plus
it's really nice because I'm a big admirer.
Already.
And when I knew that she was doing the voice, you know, it put a lot of pressure on me. But then I saw the film and I was really afraid. I thought, I'm never going to be able to do it like that. But you do it very well, Charlotte. I heard it. It's, no, I'm very serious. So, Pete Docter, how do you choose the voices? Because, I mean, was it obvious that it was going to be Amy Poehler to be Joy?
No, we first designed the characters, wrote the story, and then we hunted around for a long time. Mainly, Joy was really hard to write, and it wasn't until we hooked up with Amy that we really cracked it, I think. It was a tricky part. You have anything to say?
I'm happy to hear it was so difficult, and I'm happy to hear it became easier when I was involved.
Yeah, it was great. She was awesome. And not only did Amy do some of the voice work, obviously, but she also helped us with writing, which was a lot of fun. We spent a day working out the script together, and so it was fun.
Ah, vous avez travaillé, vous avez
so you worked on the script.
It was truly one of the best professional days of my life. Pixar is like the gold standard when it comes to animation, and to be able to collaborate in any way with these, it proves my theory that good-hearted and extremely talented people are often good collaborators. So I was pleased to be asked to join in any way.
Jonas Riviera, qu'est-ce qu'il faut pour
Jonas Riviera, what do you need to have a good voice? What qualities do you need? How do you choose the voices for an animated film?
What does it take to have a good voice for animation, for dubbing?
To translate too.
Yeah,
thank you.
I'll do everything.
Merci Charlotte.
I'm so
Elle
sorry.
est magnifique cette Charlotte, je la remercierai jamais assez.
To have a good voice, I mean, obviously there's so much goes into it, but I mean, I think with Amy, what we found was we just felt she was effortlessly charming and nice and happy, and it just, we say, sort of fit the suit. And I think we just look for truth. We don't necessarily look for people that do voices so much, just real voices. And you both have such beautiful, real, truthful voices, and so that's what, in our mind, makes a great
And obviously,
voice.
being a voice talent is more than just speaking, it's acting. So, you know, people talk about it as being separate some way, but I think there's a real skill to being able to convey all this complexity just in a vocal performance.
And may I say, Charlotte and I would probably agree that the writing is so universal, and the emotions that inhabit the film are felt by everyone all over the world. So it's easy to tap into that when it's well written, like it is.
En fait, faites que la traduction, Charlotte, vous dites, c'est vrai.
So you're just doing the translation. Yes, that's true. That's true.
Charlotte, il faut jouer. Non, mais il faut réellement jouer devant.
So you've really got to act in front of the mic because you don't film, don't you? Physically, do you play? Yeah, a lot. Physically, a lot. And it's a bit schizophrenic because you're in a black box with a screen and you're moving around all over the place. But the real pressure, the real challenge with Joy is that she mustn't be a pain in the arse, really. She mustn't be annoying. You know, I mean, she's got to have energy and joy. And, you know, sometimes I want to slap people like that. And I had to avoid that. But with this character, it wasn't the case. And Amy managed to do this too. And it was a difficult character. And she's the sort of the captain of the vessel, if you like. And it was very inspiring to work with her voice. Yeah, I mean, joy is the first emotion that appears in this baby's mind. Is this what happened for you? Was joy, first of all? Of course. Yeah. You too, Amy, it's joy.
And may I say, I think of all the emotions, joy is the most American. She's like, she's moving things forward. She's very enthusiastic, but often she misses fine details and and generalizes a bit too much. So like, but she's definitely she's the American emotion of all of them.
I'm proud of that.
Mais c'est vrai, c'est pas mal comme analyse ça. C'est vrai que
that's a very interesting analysis. Pete Docter, where did the idea come from for personalizing these emotions? Because it's a bit crazy, no? I mean, where did you create this sort of concept? Where did it come from in Disney Pixar?
Well, it kind of started watching my daughter, who was about 11 when we started, and she had gone from being a really hyper, energetic kid to being a little more quiet and reserved. And I realized, she's growing up. This is going to be difficult, because it was difficult for me growing up. And that's really what this film is about, is the sort of loss of childhood and becoming an adult, and what does it take when that happens?
But why? How did you choose these little characters? How did you visualize these emotions? How did you go about that? Was it just the drawing that gave it, or what was it?
It kind of popped in my head as, I think I called joy optimism, because I didn't know any better. I didn't really know much about emotions when I started. And I knew about anger and fear, and then the rest were kind of a fuzzy, and then some other guys, And it wasn't until we did the research and talked to psychologists and neurologists and psychiatrists that we started to flesh out the cast and find out more about which emotions are there and what are their jobs, Because we think of anger, for example, as being kind of negative. Like, you don't want to be angry, it gets you into a fight or something. But as it turns out, anger is really important for fairness. If you feel you're being taken advantage of, anger, that's what incites anger. So social justice, taking care of people around the world sometimes is incited by anger.
Ce que je trouve aussi super bien dans ce Pixar.
And what's really good in this Pixar as well, which is different from the others, there's nothing manichaic about it. There's nobody nasty in there. There's no bad guy. And that's very rare in the cinema, of course, as a whole. And you haven't got that here. It's just our dark side. And I thought that was really good. Well, thank you very much. So for taking this little touch of emotion at the end. Yeah. So thank you very much for bringing a lot of joy. Charlotte, Amy, I hope you have a very joyous day today during the Cannes Film Festival. Thank you, Pete Docter and Jonas Riviera. So, Inside Out, in the press conference, in happiness.